Malik, this is a time where we should all hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
I hear the thunder already, Paul. Let's just hope that it doesn't fall down on us as hard as we think it would.
Well, you know, apart from, of course, what it might do to the continuation of the race in terms of lightning and rain, I'm more concerned about how the rain is going to be affecting the dynamics of the race. I mean, temperatures are really dropping. It's a rather cool weather, if you ask me. But once the rain starts to fall, if it starts to fall, right, we're going to be looking at a loss and reduction of traction on the tracks, right? Things are going to get a little bit more difficult to actually drive on, right? And drivers are going to have to be a lot more defensive in their driving, right? The strategy is just going to change.
Yes, and you will see that most of the cars here will be driving at a much slower pace. This is to compensate for the lack of traction on the track and the fact that just because of the loss of traction, they just can't go any much faster than they should.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Malik, right? For teams that are already in the top 4 positions, when the track is wet, they're going to have to slow down because I don't think they want to take any chances.
That's right.
Yeah? They're just going to hold and maintain and just preserve that spot.
You're absolutely right there, Paul. Well, we have passed the halfway mark of the race. We still have about an hour and 56 minutes to go. Still a long ways to go if you ask me. And anything can happen, especially looking down on us is the weather conditions, which could change in a split second now. So it'll be interesting to see if it indeed rains on us and see how the race would actually change.
But what do you think is the most difficult about, you know, this track? I've done a couple of races before, you know, and the number of chicanes in this track is absolutely astounding, yeah? A number of twists and turns in the track. What do you think is the most difficult part about navigating all these twists and turns in the chicanes?
Well, the thing about this track is it is very tricky. It looks pretty easy, yeah, but it gets very tricky, especially as you approach the later parts of the track, right towards the end at the back. There is a downward sloping section towards the end, and there's a sharp turn following which a chicane. What you see now, Paul, is the rain has indeed fallen on us, and we see some of the drivers spinning as they make their turns. It's because they're just approaching the turns too fast.
That's right, the rain has started to fall. It's becoming very visible already, and you know what, as much as the drivers are starting to slow down, I'm looking at the marshallers as well, and you know what, they're just braving the rain, you know? Yeah, rain or shine, there they are, you know? They're like a banking company.
Well, they are a group of professionals, undoubtedly, and as you can see, they are already preparing for the rain, and they will be there, rain or shine.
There's a rain or shine, they're going to be there. We are looking at a little bit of inclement weather. I hear it already. Just only waiting for some word from the management to just determine what's the next course of action to take. Yeah. But in the meantime, every single driver now becoming a lot more defensive in their driving. They are slowing down. The track has gotten visibly darker and slick with water.
That's right. You can see them sliding around the corners slightly more because the tires are losing traction as they make their turns, and their parts are not rotating as fast as it should be.
That's right. You know, I've done the F1 events before, yeah? And whenever it comes to this kind of a rainy weather, usually the cars will actually undergo a change of tires. They will switch to the softer tires, yeah?
That's right.
But in a go-karting event like this, there is no chance for them to change wheels.
Well, for this race, they have no chance of changing tires. Yeah, it's absolutely right, Paul. So they have to race in the current slick tires. And if you must know, for the qualifying round 1, the whole race was a wet race.
That's right. The qualifying race was a wet race, so one thing that's for certain, these drivers have been exposed to what to do when the track is wet. And you can see from the faces and the way all of them are controlling their cars, they know exactly what to do.
Well, they should know what exactly to do, otherwise they will just be spinning around the track.
That's right. There's a song in that, you know, you spin me right round, baby. But of course, that's another song for another time, ladies and gentlemen. And Martin and I, of course, are having plenty of great fun keeping you all company so far right here at the iFast Singapore Corporate Karting Challenge 2012. We are into our third qualifying round. We completed the first two qualifying rounds just over the last month. And this time around, we're looking out for the top 4 teams to qualify for the grand finals. Now, the top 4 teams so far are City Singapore, Words Automotive, Team Motor Car Buyers, as well as Propnex Powerhouse. We're just waiting to see whether or not these 4 teams can maintain their position.
It looks like the rain is not letting up. As you see, raindrops falling onto the track. Pretty harsh raindrops, in fact. And we see them coming in. Oh, we have a red flag, Paul.
Alright, red flag has been risen. Now, when the red flag is risen, of course, for those of us who are unaware of what karting rules are, once the red flag is risen, all drivers are to return to the pit. And of course, the last lap will have been recorded. All drivers now, of course, are making their way back into the pit. Red flag has been risen. The obvious reason clearly being inclement weather, ladies and gentlemen. We're just waiting for some final decisions and updates from the upper management level. But as the drivers are pulling in, my hats go off to you. Big round of applause to all the drivers who are coming in, ladies and gentlemen. I think they've been doing a fantastic job, right? Braving the rain, braving the wind, riding their hearts out, right? Not for themselves, I'll tell you this, but for the glory of their team, ladies and gentlemen. So a big kudos and a big salute to Propnex Powerhouse, City Singapore, Words Automotive, Team ING,